6-block game for Jalen Duren against the Nets. That's a career high, and he had 3 in the first quarter alone. We're going to be breaking down every single one of his blocks, along with some of his baskets in an 18-point outing. Filled the stat sheet, 2 steals, 2 assists. Early on in the game, one thing I noticed, Jalen Duren moves like a guard, and the way he finishes, very silky smooth there. It's not much of a breakdown, but needed to give some love for that. Up next, we see Cade Cunningham on defense. The offensive player is able to spin, get right past him. And the thing that Jalen Duren has been known to do early in his career is have inconsistency on the defensive end. When he's in position, sometimes he doesn't make the right move. He times this block perfectly because what Cade Cunningham does is he's able to get into the defender, and you can see that the defender has a whole step on Cade, and somehow they slow down and go towards Cade Cunningham. They're seeking out contact. Cade's able to slow down their shot, so JD's able to get up, grab the rebound, or grab the shot, I guess I should say, out of midair and starts pushing it. He has one glance to the left to Tobias Harris, but he's looking to take it coast to coast with a finish. We're going to see a replay here. I mean, perfectly timed block to grab it. And when you're a guy who can get blocks, get rebounds, push it up the court, and finish, I mean, that's going to go hand in hand with having the best transition offense in the NBA. Detroit's at number 2 right now behind the Nuggets, but over the last 3 games, they are number 1. 2 points above the Chicago Bulls, I believe, in fast break scoring. So great look for Detroit. And they're bringing in these key additions like Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris. They're not known to be hyper-athletic, fast-running dudes. But they're playing their role with the young guns on this team that are hyper-athletic, and it's fitting perfectly like a glove. Duren gets another block on Claxton here. What's he going to do? Give it to Cade Cunningham. The whole team is out 5-on-4. Easy pass to Tim Hardaway Jr., and I want to look at that play one more time because there's something really important that happens here. Let me just scrub back a little bit. Jalen Duren gets the board, passes out, goes to Cade Cunningham. When you're Cam Johnson, and is that Killian right there? When you're those 2 defenders, you see Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren coming straight down the middle. And you also see Asar Thompson coming down the middle. And then you have Tobias Harris, Malik Beasley going to the corners. And if you're those 2, you are going to stay low because you're expecting either a Cade Cunningham alley-oop to Asar Thompson or a Cade Cunningham alley-oop to Jalen Duren. But what doesn't happen is either of those things. Cade's going to slow down, pivot. I think he was looking for the lob first, didn't see it, instantly gets his second or third read to Tim Hardaway Jr. 3-point made, and Tim Hardaway Jr. was hit on that. That should have been an and one. We're going to see another block, timing it perfectly, leading to fast break offense. And like I said, this is one of the best teams in the league, top 2 in fast break scoring. And if JD keeps playing like that, there's no telling if Detroit can be won or not. I think there's a good chance Detroit can get past Denver for that spot. Another play on defense for Jalen Duren. I believe that's Malik Beasley or Dennis Schroeder up top. And they're going to fall behind their defender. And Jalen Duren does a great job of not selling out and going all the way down to stop his defender down low, because then he would have to contest and get a block, which we've seen him do that, or contest and get a miss from the offensive player. But what he does is he plays the lane with his hand. You can also see he's looking for a pass ahead as well, but he's able to put his hand out, tip the ball, and that's going to lead to another fast break score. And when you're Jalen Duren and you're one of the first people down the court, you're going to be rewarded with a lob or a pass and an easy dunk. And now, this is block number, I believe, 4 for Jalen Duren. Why are you going straight at him? They fake it, and Jalen Duren has his arm straight up and is able to get his hand easily on that and volleyball hit that back out of bounds. It's going to, well, actually not out of bounds. It's going to lead to a dunk. But sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Another easy finish for Jalen Duren, getting fouled, showing off his Dwight Howard, Shaquille O'Neal-esque athleticism. Obviously, they're on different levels, but Jalen Duren, man, some of the dunks he's had this year has me thinking. Sar Thompson to Tobias Harris. Easy lob, and when Jalen Duren's in the dunker spot and there's action going on the other side, the defender, even a good one like Nick Claxton, is going to have trouble stopping an oop right there. All right, what's the next one going on here? Okay, so what we're seeing here is Asar Thompson up top. I believe that's Schroeder coming up on the left, and you have Jalen Duren at the free throw line. I think what Asar Thompson is thinking is that the offensive player up on the top at the top of the 3-point line. Is going to go around Cam Johnson on a screen. What he's going to do is slip. So Jalen Duren now has two responsibilities. It's to guard the player that slipped and passed his defender in Asar Thompson, and you also see he has his player who has the ball. He's going to instantly pass it. Jalen Duren's going to pivot, and he's going to already be trailing because he had to turn, and he's going to get an easy block right there as well. I don't know if the player should have went up on the right, but going up on the left definitely wasn't the smart choice either. And Jalen Duren right here has the ball cleared out, but is at the 3-point line back to the basket. What is he going to do? Can anyone take a guess here? Is he going to pass it out? Is he going to back down? He's going to turn, train, fully moving towards the rim for an and one dunk on Day'Ron Sharpe, a great defender. Great story in the NBA this year, actually. Love the fans. Love seeing the fans in LCA. And here's the last block. And to me, this is almost the most impressive. We've seen some crazy blocks from Jalen Duren so far this game. Look at how high up he gets. And this offensive player is looking to get it high off the glass. You can see by his release is way up. His arms fully extended by the time the ball leaves. Jalen Duren meets it. He meets it up there. Look at that. That's like almost to the top of the box. Gets the block. And like so many times before, that led to transition points for Cade Cunningham and one finish. And I'm pretty sure that got them to over a 20-point lead. They never looked back. But Jalen Duren defense leading 2 points. And if he can continue to do that, like I mentioned, I think they can be number one ahead of Denver. Because this is a young team. Denver is only going to slow down, I believe, as the season goes to a halt. As much as I love them, I think that Detroit has a little bit of an edge there. And when we're talking about Duren, I think that he has the potential to be an all-NBA level center. And obviously, it's a little bit easier to be an all-NBA center because there's not only 3 slots anymore. Anybody can slot in anywhere. So you have the opportunity for more centers to be in. But with what he's doing on offense, mixed with what he's shown on defense, obviously, it's a longer conversation if we want to talk about if he's going to do that consistently or not. But it's not out of the realm of possibility to think that if he puts that together, he's a top 5 center in the league? There was a stretch where over a 10-game span, he was number 2, right behind Jokic in assists per game for a center. Above a Şengün, above a Sabonis. It's just fantastic to see what Jalen Duren has become, because usually you don't see these kind of turnarounds midseason. And it wasn't even All-Star break. It was a little bit before, so it was between a game. And since then, he's been electric, high energy, high motor. And there's been moments when games start, maybe I've said, oh, he's not looking too hot. And then he instantly proves me and everybody else saying things wrong. I think the ceiling is the limit for that guy. I'm interested to see what his contract situation is going to look like. I want to keep him in Detroit. I think they're going to. He's one of Cade's best options when it comes to his play style. Cade Cunningham operates out of the pick and roll. I don't think you can expect a new center anymore. There was a lot of chatter about, oh, maybe last season they're going about Nick Claxton, or maybe they're going to go for Nick Claxton. That didn't happen. And look at what he just did to Nick Claxton. Dominated him on both ends of the court. So JD is my new big dog on these Pistons teams, man. I don't want to say he's better than Isaiah Stewart on the defensive end when he's at his 100%, but it's just different when you have him on the court versus Stu. Just adding those 3 inches just has a little bit of a dynamic there, different dynamic for this team. Although Stu is just elite when it comes to perimeter D as well. So it's apples to oranges when you talk about their defensive abilities, but they kind of fit together really well. So we're going to be continuing to break down Pistons content every single day, from game day analysis to bringing on guests. Last night we had, or I guess I should say last video, we had Brendan Sims on, contributor for a few blogs. Great analysis. Make sure you check that one out if you haven't yet. But like I said, breaking down everything Pistons every day. If you have any suggestions, drop them in the comments. Have a great night, y'all. Go Pistons.